a good Ursa game. So we'll see if Motivate.Trust can make it that tough for Dreamosol, if he can kind of work out and overcome the shortcomings here. Of course, the one thing as well for Boom going for this Ursa means that you'd want to see a very quick Roshan here, 15 minutes in, get a quick Morbid Mask, buy the space out for the Ursa to get that huge gold injection for the team, and that safety net at Aegis. Going to be important for Boom to hit those spikes, and that means they need something mid to kind of enable them to shove out the mid lane, maybe get some good chip damage to open up that Rosh a bit more. We're going to have to see what options are left. They ban out the Storm and TA on Motivate.Trust side. For Boom, they're focusing on offlane. Take out the Viper for the break. Really annoying as well for Ursa, as it's just constant slows, constant harassment coming through. What else do they not want Masaros to play? He still has the option for Tidehunter, could be in if they want that team fight. And they actually do take care of the Invoker, so they might suspect the Kunkka flex. Don't think we've seen that from MTG though.
Let's see. Motivate.Trust. Does seem like they just need that offlane hero for Masaros, but it could still be that offlane Kunkka. But in all fairness, every time we have seen the Kunkka from MTG, it does feel like it's always in that mid lane with Fearless. But they have been pretty interesting today with their drafts, Motivate, so you never really know. They might switch some things up. Plenty of reserve time to think about it as well if they so wish. Still about 2 minutes left of reserve time, in fact, for this last pickup. You won't see the Darksea this game more than likely, because you don't really have anything to really combo with here. The Masaros Timber is still available, though. Into the Ursa can be a little bit tough, but it's still Masaros Timber. Does well into the Mars Snapfire, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that did slide in here. You rip through the Abaddon, Ursa down the line. Sure, he can just kind of Fury Swipe you. At the same time, you've got good burst. You're not susceptible to kiting. The control from Boom isn't amazing for the Timbersaw. Your best bet is Cookie and Spear. Beyond that, he's just going to be able to zip around. Could be nice for it. I think maybe look for more team fight to tie in with your Kunkka and to tie in with the Ice Blast. Something like, again, Tidehunter could work. You still face the same issue with Ursa. Fury Swipes will just run you down anyway, but it's still a pretty decent Anchor Smash lane. If you want to play that route, you could also maybe look for something like the Centaur available, and that just allows you to disengage real quick, re-engage real fast if you need to. It's a great safety net up against the control on Boom, which is non-existent, so you can definitely get a lot of value from a hero like the Centaur here.
Find out. 30 seconds left. Motivate. Very unusual of them to actually use all their reserve time, but they're having a very long think about this one. They'll go for the Pango, of all things. So it does pretty well into the Ursa, right? You have the lucky shot. You can swashbuckle away. Rolling Thunder's still going to be pretty annoying, even if you have the Enrage up. You just keep kind of rolling around you and keep getting that stun off over and over again. And it's another hero that we've been seeing Masaros play quite a bit over the last couple days.
And he plays it pretty well. Like, even though it's not something we're used to seeing from him, he hits his timings well. It does play really fast. So you do have that smooth timing again from Motivate.Trust with her power spikes. All kind of lined up for early to mid game. Boom do get to pick up the Ember Spirit here for Mikado. Very nice. Here to go up against the Kunkka. Holds its lane well. Have to worry because the X arrow setup is still there. They've got some ways of keeping Mikado in. He can dodge with a Sleight of Fist, and of course the Remnants once they're up. But it's a tight window. Mikado has to play right on the bleeding edge there. But overall, very different drafts from game one. Really going to lead to different playstyles here. And, well, I think Motivate.Trust will still lead towards that faster playstyle. Boom. After seeing game one, I think they should be ready for that aggression.
Fair enough, John. I'll ask you the hard question quickly before we do go into game number 2. Who came out with the better draft, officially in your mind, sir?
I'm still leaning towards Motivate.Trust. I think they got all the answers in their lineup. Kunkka's really good here, just to kite around the Ursa, or the Ember Spirit if you really want to prioritize him. Masaros on a Pango is a really good team fight to tie in with the Torrent Boat, in with the X. They don't have the most reliable AoE control. I mean, it's technically AoE with both Torrent, but nothing like a Ravage or Stomp or Arena even, but they can kind of play around us. And we saw Monstros do this before. The lane for Dreamocell now is a bit tougher because Pangolier can just play further back, swashbuckle, try to get lucky shots off, and the Ursa just kind of sits there disarmed. It's not very fun for Dreamocell. At the same time, Kezcute can kind of mitigate that with EFOD Shield. The Dispel will make that lane much more manageable. But I still think that just with how MTG is playing with this draft, it's much easier for them to execute their win condition.
Okay, fair enough. Before we do go into game number 2, John, of course, if you are looking to gamble on the games or put a bet on, new users can get a 100% bonus on their first deposit up to 9,000 pesos. Use code PRO on loot.bet. Existing users can also find more promotions when they visit loot.bet. So go ahead and put your bets on. Game number 2 should be a very interesting grand final. We'll see if this side of Boom Esports can try to even out the score a little bit. Because you don't really want to get too owed right now. It does put you in a very awkward position for that third game. In fact, because we were talking about Loot.bet, I'll bring up some odds, see what's going on here. And Motivate.Trust are actually not the favorites in game 2. Boom Esports have switched it up a bit. So it's still the same odds. It's just the other way around. So Boom Esports $1.80 now, Motivate.Trust $1.91.
Oh. Yeah, that's sensible. Did you see that? Dreamocell again. He walked up, he planted the flag. No toss back to punish, but he is being cheeky, Dreamocell. He did that before and he got punished. No punishment this time. But still.
This time there's no tiny, John. I think he felt a little bit safer without the tiny mag.
They put down the monster. Is that monster? They put down the face, man.
Yeah. That is Monster.
There you go. You gotta love it. I mean, it looks like Boom are still in high spirits, which is great because they need to be. If they want to bounce back, they have to have that confidence in themselves to execute cleanly, bring the fight towards Motivate.Trust, and to wash off what happened in game 1 there.
What an intimidating face. When you try to approach the bounties, they will back off. They'll let MTG pick them up. However, Dreamocell, he did manage to swipe one away from Q, and that'll mean a 3-1 start for Boom Esports. In terms of bounties, no first blood going to occur either, just a bit of harassment out. Dreamocell copping a bit, but yeah, it looks like he's going to be just fine. He'll have a tango. Kezcute will be able to heal him up rather soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this is the one thing with the Pangolier lane. If you're up against Abaddon, even once you start to get levels up on your lucky shot, it won't feel great because the shield will just dispel. And of course, Kezcute early on can just use that shield to run up, get some harassment off. Monstros is not going to be feeling great. He doesn't want to commit Swash too early on. It's a 20-second cooldown, so there's not many windows for you to use that spell. And Kezcute is doing a fantastic job in zoning. Dreamocell gets a free wave. Q will have to play for the pull and just kind of build up there, but I'm sure Kezcute's aware. They're making this really as hard as possible for MTG, and this is a good shakeup compared to game 1.
Absolutely. Of course, over in the mid lane, you've got Fearless there against Makoto. Now Makoto having a very nice time in terms of CS, but as the levels go up on the Kunkka, it obviously gets a lot more difficult with that Tidebringer, and you can see Makoto, he's taking a lot of damage out. Fearless not going to throw the Torrent out as the Flame Guard was going to block the damage anyway.
You get nothing.
There's your Torrent. Pretty far forward just to make sure he could not come in for the CS. And this is really that point now where Fearless can just bully you.
It's not a fun lane for Mikado. Maybe once you get level 2 Flame Guard up, you feel a lot better, but just because most of that damage from Tidebringer is physical, it's your bread and butter on that lane for the Kunkka, you're not going to be blocking off a lot of it. And in a sense, the Kunkka feels like a ranged hero because of that range in Tidebringer, so Mikado doesn't even have that close melee matchup.
Top lane, first blood does occur. Jackie going to try and get some revenge here onto FBZ, but Jackie not going to be able to make it there as Hyde does block the way, and FBZ does get salved up. Great start here for Boom Esports with that first blood, and you know, FBZ, he was having a very tough game in game number 1. Definitely enjoy kind of seeing him get that first blood, and he's off to a good start.
And this lane for MTG is a lot weaker. AA Jug, there's some potential to slow down people in the spin, but you don't really have the hold That would really benefit the Jug to get that damage off. So you might want to take this one slower. The tankiness coming through from Boom is really off the charts. They've got a lot of good damage flying through as well, with a Scatter Blast being built up by Hyde. And once they land, say, the Spear God's Rebuke, get the cookie follow-up with a Scatter Blast, it's not going to feel nice for either Jackie or Leonak, especially if Jackie commits the spin to clear out the wave. It's a bit more slow here for MTG compared to Game 1, and Boom should look to keep leveraging that. VZ's got, you know, a good time in lane. He's slowing down the Jug a fair bit. It's not looking very clean for Jackie in terms of farm. They're having a much better time here on Dream Whistle for sure, and that should lead to the Ursa finding some earlier spikes if you're not careful for MTG.
Certainly does. Leonak and Hyde trying to go at it. Hyde going to make sure that Leonak can't go for the large camp pull. On the Snapfire, he can get very aggressive with the harass. Especially with that early Blightstone. Leonak just not very tanky on the AA. Not much armor either, which doesn't help. Jackie gonna spin immediately after seeing that God's Rebuke. Not gonna risk copping the spear. However, Cookie is there. FBZ could follow up, but no, it misses. Oh, it's a great attempt. He wanted to pull him back, but it was just off the mark. Still, Jackie is still dropping low. He's gonna be able to survive though, and well, they actually don't have a salve here. Only a Tango for Jackie. No healing water either. Gonna have to wait for that level 4 mark, but a bit awkward here for our Junk.
Yeah, it's a really good, again, good steps forward from Boom, playing with this harassment they've got on hand. It's making MTG really play safe, and that's holding back Jackie's potential farm. It's going to slow down the pace of the Chug if you're not careful, and at some point you're going to see Boom start to open up the map. And once you get enough levels on FBZ, you could maybe see Hyde start to line up for mid. Speaking of that mid, it's still holding relatively even. Fearless is still slightly ahead, but Mikado is not trailing behind too much, which is really good news. And even in the offlane, Masaros, he's just forced to keep pulling this wave all the way back, but Kezki just never lets it go for free.
Absolutely not, but Masaros is going to try and punish him here, and she does lose one creep. So one rogue creep makes a run for it. As Q is being chased down by Dreamer's Cell on the Ursa, but I think he's going to be just fine as well. Dreamer's Cell CSing very nicely here on this Ursa. But when I look at Dreamer's Cell and I look at this Ursa pick, it just feels so Dreamer's Cell, right? Like, we've seen so much Ursa from this man. I'd say it's probably his best hero, and it's always a pleasure seeing him being picked up again and just being able to play this Ursa in game number 2 of the Grand Finals of the Lubet Pro Series as mid lane. Fearless, he ends up dropping Hyde, able to pick up the kill, and it looks like it was a 2 support rotation to make sure Fearless does drop. It's Jackie. Jackie dies solo to FBZ.
Yeah, that's not good news. He was left alone in the lane, and we talked about this. The moment you can leave FBZ alone, just sustain, you can make that move happen in mid. They did make that happen. I don't think you expect this Mars to solo the Jug, though. It looks like he should have had spin off cooldown, but maybe no mana, and that's really the issue with Jug. Very low mana pool. You have to choose when you cast your spells. If not, you're sitting duck, and level 6 is up here.
Killing spree.
Nice first arena coming out into level 6 from FBZ, just lining up right in time. And that's he has no TP. He TP'd back to lane. He's going to have to walk back. This is going to slow down Jackie's initial farm by a huge amount. And boom, they're going to find themselves with that 2k lead now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now taking over the jungle as well, Makoto, he's going to move in, clear out these stacks, and it's going to be more farm taken away from the side of Motivate.Trust. Makoto, he's going to be very happy with this. But Jackie and Fearless, either one was going to take these stacks away, but now it's not so much going to be the case as Motivate. They try to re-invade their jungle. Actually, they stack up again here from Hyde. Fearless, he'll get the X off. He's going to try and punish the Snapfire. Try to cookie over the ledge, but the X was always going to be there. You know what? In the end, they don't really lose the stacks. Boom didn't fully commit for them.
Yeah, I'm surprised they backed off right then. If they cleared it out, you'd be feeling a lot better about losing your snap. But now you still get that catch-up form for Fearless. He finds a nice easy kill for himself. He climbs up in that word to play some catch-up compared to the Boom chorus. They still need to get some relief here for Masaros and particularly Jackie. And they need to make some space happen on the map. You can see Boom, you're just running down bot lane. Still a really free lane for Dreamosol. Masaros just can't do anything. He's stuck at level 5. Dreamosol's level 7. Just hit 6 now, so he can maybe play with a Rolling Thunder if they find a setup.
Dreamosol gonna go back in. Masaros! They knew he didn't have the swashbuckle. Dreamosol will take advantage straight away. His top lane, Fearless. He's gonna try and go onto FBZ now with the boat. Does land. Cookie is going to be decent, but FBZ really has nowhere to go and does drop to Jackie. As now they chase down Hyde further. No X off cooldown though. They won't be able to lock him down long enough. They got the big one. They got FBZ.
It's a nice kill coming out for MTG. It helps balance out a slower start for Jackie. Still not enough to really bounce him back in, but they'll try to get the push up top. There's enough time for a defense to come out from Boom though. But they lack the levels on their supports. Still level 5 on Hyde, no kisses yet. And FBZ has no arena.
They don't. PG gonna back off now. Kodo. Stick around that mid lane, keep the farm up. He wants to go into that Maelstrom build-up. Everything's still going so smoothly here for Boom Esports with that 2K net worth lead. Top lane, Hyde. Get started on that top tier 1. Motivate this time around obviously won't want to be too aggressive with their own draft as they've fallen behind. So they're going to have to try and catch up though. As I say that, looks like bottom lane, Masaros. Rolling Thunder and just try to get away from the side of Boom. As top lane now, they're going to smoke up and try to go for a fight. Fearless again onto FBZ. They got the X-Boat out in time, and FBZ, he is going to cop it. Jackie with the spin again, but they have killed off Leonak on the AA as Dreamosol and Hyde showed up from the other side of the map. Motivate, they are unable to capitalize off that boat as, well, Boom, they want to keep going. You don't want to catch anyone else out. Still gonna fight. Spear. Oh. Jackie. He got caught out again. What a spear out from FBZ.
I don't know why Jackie looks to walk back in there though. Like, he knows it's not safe. He already saw his Kunkka pull back. They're not in position to play with the arrow in any way. He just kind of plays a bit greedy looking for the creep wave and is punished. Boom. This early aggression's really lining up for them. 10.5 minutes in, 8 kills now with the additional kill coming out on Masaros. There's no room here for MTG to build up. And their power spikes are still way off. They need a lot more to come in because of how far behind they were in lanes. You have to be scared with how much Boom has now. They're playing this game through really well.
Absolutely. Even Makoto finding a solo pick off onto Masaros down at that bot side. It's now Kescute. They're going to X him up. He is level 6 though. He has that borrowed time and could delay things quite a bit. They aren't going to be able to kill him. He's got his team right behind him now. One of the real strengths of the Abaddon. Just being able to buy so much time for your team to make their way over to you. Now an immediate 4-man smoke up here from Boom as they will rotate through the dire jungle onto Fearless. There's Urena out into the kisses and he just gets bursted down. Dreamosol to take it on the Ursa. 3K net worth lead now for Boomy.
You can just get the damage off. There's no counter fight here from Motivate.Trust. They do get the scan, but they're not in position. And even if they were, maybe if you land a big boat combo from Fearless, you could make something happen.
Oh, that'll help. Bash out. Arrow is going to fly in. The enrage. Oh no, the Roshan. He wants to take it out. The ice, it's not going to be enough. Boat does fly in. FBZ is being targeted right now. Meanwhile, Hyde, he does die to Jackie. Makoto, though, trying to do all this himself. Going for a fight on the pack side. Does get Leonax Courier, but wants the real hero. In fact, he might just get it. So he is trying to run away from Q. On the other side, they are still chasing. They got the Aegis from Dreamosol's Jackie. Rolling Thunder out from Masaros. To get himself out, Dreamosol, he does avoid one stun. The spin is right behind him and they clear them out. A double kill out for Jackie. right onto the Ember, but a nice cookie from Hyde to stop them. They will be able to get Makoto out, but a triple kill now for Jackie. This is very bad news for Boom Esports.
And we talked about MTG not finding a foothold. This is the start of it. They still are behind, so it's not all clear yet. They find some big kills. They just completely negate the Aegis. They find the mid-tier 1. That's going to open up the map more, allow Jackie some space to farm safely, and allow him to build into that diffusal spike that he desperately needs. Once he's got that, he can start controlling heroes out with the inhibit to slow, get the damage off, burn the mana off, prevent the spells from being casted, and even start to get, you know, more farm out for the other cores. Like you need this Orchid on Fearless to come up and running. You need a Blink on Monstros, and having at least one hero that can start to fight a lot better should mean that other heroes have space to farm. That should help that recovery process for MTG. For Boom, they need to play more as a team. They were really fragmented in that last fight. They are looking for a smoke play. They've got the arena and the Kist is ready if they want to play with that.
Oh, Makoto just chasing down Jackie, but now the X is there. They've got the X back into the turret and the arrow into the Ice Blast. Is it going to be enough? Yeah, it is. FPZ, he could not get a stun off. In time, that is. Now, Masaros, he's cutting them off. No lucky shot. Being procced, but it won't matter because they have the Rolling Thunder. Nice cookie onto the high ground, though, from Hyde. Save the day for the rest of Boom Esports. But they will lose the Ember.
That's still a big kill for Motivate.Trust. And you can see that lead drag down to just 1k up. Having that big kill on the Ember just takes away so much from Boom because Mikado is setting up for them right now. Darius is not quite ready. Still waiting for the defusal. It should be flying out soon. But that was just disjointed again. Our Ember was way too far forward. Boom was smoked up from the mid lane. It's too slow for them to hook in. And I think Mikado's got to play with his team if they are going to set up that way.
Absolutely. Remacel still farming quite nicely on the Ursa, but it feels like Jackie's just catching up way too quick. It's top of the net worth board again on this junk. After that amazing start Boom Esports had, just feels like it's kind of falling flat right now. You want to keep seeing them go for that aggression. Seems like they are going to slow down for a bit.
Yeah, I think they feel the pressure. It's a bit too much. The key thing is really that Boom are taking these fights split up. The way they were winning earlier is when they were playing as 5. They just need to stick as 5. If not 5, then 4, and the 4th is going to have to be Mikado, not Dreamcell. Dreamcell just needs to sit back, farm as much as he can, and become that big, scary, fuzzy wuzzy for down the line, but he's not really allowed to do so. They're actually clumping around Dreamcell more than anything else, and that just means that if ever Mikado finds an opening, he has to do it all by himself.
Speaking of Makoto, though, could be in a spot of danger if he's not too careful. He'll hide in the tree line. Looks like he's already preparing to get himself out just in case. There is going to be a smoke up from Motivate, but which way do they go? Boom Esports are in a pretty good position to avoid this smoke, it seems like. Kodo. Let's TP up to join his team. They're trying to snipe that mid-tier 1 and they do get it. Now, team fight will start. Arena is going to be nice. Onto Masaros. One of his kisses are there as well. Masaros is going to swash away, but they've lost Leonak. And eventually Makoto does get the Sleight of Fist off to be able to secure the kill on the Pango. And they can certainly just keep going now as got 2 heroes down to the side of Motivate. They're going to smoke up Boom Esports. They want to be the aggressors.
That's the right play. They can find someone out. Be pretty nice. The only nearby here is really Q and trying to set their sights elsewhere. Fearless is fairly alone. He does have Jackie around, but neither one can stop a big team fight like this.
No, they cannot. Makoto going to go in. Jackie, he can be. Not going to mess around. A very scary scenario here for Motivate. Boom. They're gonna sit back a bit and probably secure some more farm up here. I think Dream Missile's just trying to get his S and Y up before he goes any further. but it does seem like we have another big smoke out from Motivate.Trust. They will run into Kescube, but that is not the target. Dreamcell moves up. Arrow is going to land. He did not get that in range of the Ice Blast. The Cookie actually going to stun 3 of them up, but they X-back Dreamcell into the boat, and now the Rolling Thunder. Masaros and Jackie will set up onto Dreamcell and do take him out. As now Makoto is going to get jumped on, but FBZ is going to reinitiate with the arena. Jackie's still alright. Healing ward up. He's going to be fine. They are going to continue the fight. Boom. Who do you go on? Arrow is there, but it does not land in time. Makoto does juke it out. They are unable to keep this fight up. Boom. They are going to have to back. Jackie's going to get started on that mid-tier 2 tower.
Yeah, there's one big factor in these fights we haven't really talked about that's making this pretty hard for Boom. They are 4 melee heroes against Jug. That means there are 4 melee heroes trying to chase a healing ward. So that means for Jackie, he's just going to be able to reset his team every single time mid-team fight. You saw how low he was in the arena, but just one spin and then healing ward down, and he's just back to full, and they can't stop it.
FBZ got himself a Mirana, speeds her up. Jackie's behind, but can't really help Q very much. Still the leap away, not going to be good enough. Q looking for another. Not quite there. They do at least get themselves a +4 Mirana kill on the side of Boom Esports. They do maintain that 2k net worth lead as well. Just you go back to that main concern, which is going to be the fact that this Jug is still top of the net worth board.
This is something that I think the Jug is just naturally better at clearing out camps compared to the Ursa. He's a lot quicker. He's got great wave clear with a spin in comparison to Earthshock. So it's just that much more compounded that the natural form of Jackie's higher, and he's got more space out. Boom. They're starting to hit some good spikes. Once you have the Yasha up to complete the SNY on Dreamcell, kind of sets them up to start doing more for his team. The BKB for Mikado is the bigger one, though. Like, you need this Ember BKB to prevent all that control from being a massive factor, and that should allow Mikado to really real control in the fights. He is still a ways off from it, lacking about 1.3k gold. So there's more time they have to wait for the Ember to truly be ready to take over, and that's just time that MTG's using quite nicely to farm themselves.
Kodo. Fearless. X is... Oh, they got the Orchid off. X back. Rolling Thunder. Not going to connect the first time because FBZ, he saves the day. And now Fearless, he's the one dropping low. He'll get the boat out, but it's not going to be in time. Still, they're going with the Ice Blast, but they don't have the follow-up. Boat was a bit too late. Thanks to FBZ. Saves the day there for Makoto, and... Oh, they checked for the Roshan, but it was half a second early. He tried to slide a piston. Dreamcell, he's going to check again. He'll check again. He'll do it properly.
There you go. This is going to be big. Free Ag Shard, and that's a huge spike for Dreamcell if they do hand it over for him for the Earthshock with the Enrage. And that's where it gets a bit difficult to handle the Ursa. Motivate.Trust would love to fight into this, but without the Kunkka, their AoE control is just not that amazing.
Roshan's gone, Dreamcell. Aegis on board for him now. Even got the shards up. This is when things can get very scary for Motivate.Trust. We talked about it in the drafting phase, but the shards on Ursa is quite powerful. And you have the Aphotic Shield of the Abaddon to help out as well. So double in range plus Aphotic Shield is going to make it that much more difficult to kill off this Ursa.
Yeah, it's just so difficult. And it's a freebie as well, so you didn't have to spend that 1.4k gold. It makes it hard to hold him down. Hard to really even get the damage off. So Boom's got a massive power spike with that. SNY is done as well for Dreamcell. They can start to look to reel these fights their way. They've got the 6k gold advantage just from that. Like, they've managed to really build up here, and MTG, they need to coordinate a bit better as a team. Maybe with their own BKBs flying through, they can start to look for these counter fights a little bit better.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still Motivate.Trust, they continue moving forward. Boom, they're just taking the time to farm up that Dire jungle. here. For that bottom tier 2 as you will see Dream Assault go for the opposing tier 2 tower up top lane, but Makoto gonna show himself now, getting prepared for the defense. Also a big smoke up from Boom Esports. They are gonna try and wrap from the backside. However, there's an X out into an Orchid. Makoto, he's forced to BKB early, but FBZ's in. He's got the backside of the supports. Ice Blast is out already, but they're gonna lose Leonat. Looks like Fearless had to TP out of there on the Kunkka as well. And Boom, they get 1 for their trouble. They will find no more. In fact, maybe Masaros, he's a bit deep. Try and swashbuckle through the Radiant base now. He knows he's being chased down by a very angry bear at the moment. Where are you going to go, Masaros? Rolling Thunder. He baits it. He doesn't use it. And they don't chase him down. He's still chilling. He's gone now.
Yeah, it's a deep creep cut just to prevent progress down mid for the push. So they're holding off and losing more objectives here. They need time to play catch up now on MTG side. But Boom are starting to clump up a lot more, and MTG is going in 1 by 1.
Nice setup here from FBZ, but Fearless this time. He has the BKB up. He did accidentally X himself though, so doesn't quite set up onto FBZ. So BKB expended for nothing. Boom Esports still looking pretty darn good this game too. Still holding that net worth lead. Not much in the way of stopping them right now either. They're just going to make sure they take their time and don't make any mistakes up against Motivate, because you've seen how fast they can punish you for it.
They just need to play a lot cleaner. They've really fixed up the early issues of just being disjointed. They're now playing as a team. They take out this top tier 2. MTG, they're still kind of trying to do something.
Photo. Arrow. It's going to land. Rolling Thunder, Ice Blast, all of it going to be thrown out, and Makoto gets caught with his pants down. Rest of the Boom Esports, they were trying to make their way over to help out, but they were just too late in the end. They could get Jackie. Yeah, a much better target anyway, if Boom could somehow make the jump. But will they do it without Makoto up? Their spear, it does not latch onto the tree. He had the healing ward right behind him anyway. Probably wouldn't have been the best idea as Jackie now. Gonna get jumped on by Dreamer's Cell. He'll force him away from the tier 2 mid tower. Makoto up in 7 seconds. Motivate, they're not gonna stick around to wait for it.
Yeah, they're taking a good spot in the jungle, just clearing out as a team, sticking together in case a fight does break out. And for the side of Boom, they still hold on to that mid tier 2, so it doesn't fall. They're still in a pretty good spot to continue forcing out these objectives as they come along. They still hold the Aegis for only about 20 seconds left in the Aegis there, so not too much time for that second life on Dreamocell. And the one real awkward thing is that Dreamocell's 16, whereas Jackie's 18 from all that solo space they had earlier on. So Jackie's just slightly ahead, does have the max Omni Slash, and people keep talking about the return of stats. We haven't really seen anyone prioritize that, Mike, but Jackie did opt to skip the Blade Dance and opt to level up stats instead. So he's got 4 points into the stats, plus 8 all attributes. It's helping him be a little bit tankier at the cost of lower crit chance. But I think the difference between 20 and 35, it's almost 2 times as much at the same time. I think it's not as big of a DPS spike for the Jug. So going for the stats this game has kind of allowed Jackie to live through a lot more than you'd expect, to be fair.
Jackie. Gonna back off. Pushing out that bot wave. Again, Boom, it's just so important for Boom to try and win this game too. You don't want to be 2-0 behind in a best-of-5 grand final. Just makes it very tough to try and come back. Stoda Plus thinking. Very close, John. 55 to 45. Boom with a 5% advantage, apparently, but that's just like 1 or 2 deaths away from being a 50-50 even split.
Oh, yeah. It's a tight game. The net worth 3K at 27 minutes isn't a wide lead, and the gap between all the cores aren't actually that big.
Oh, a Photic Shield gonna save him, but Rolling Thunder is there. X back as well into the Orchid. Will force the BKB out. Makoto gonna be alright for now as they'll chase down Masaros. He is gonna TP away though and be just fine as FBZ with the arena wants to try and set up, but he cannot reach them.
No.
Can you turn now? The arena's down. MTG, they're thinking about it. They still have the boat up with the Omni. FBZ now gonna force the BKB up himself and rush forward. So go back onto Q on that Mirana. Q will buy time with the Yule Scepter, and Fearless should be able to get the boat out in time. He won't throw it yet. Instead, they'll get the Omni off. The Yules will cancel it off, but FBZ, he cops the boat to the back. Is it going to be enough? No, the cheese is going to be eaten by FBZ, and they will turn once again. Dreamer Cell trying to rush forward, but they are saved by the Torrent of Fearless. Now both teams kind of without spells to throw out any further. We'll have to back off and come back another time for a team fight.
Yeah, it's just going to be back to farming. The BKBs are just stalling out a lot of these fights, so not leading the best uses of those BKBs yet. They're starting to dwindle down in time here. I believe our shortest time is Mikado's at 7, so he's 1 use away from the minimum charge. And it's at that point where the Emperor is going to be a lot more vulnerable with low BKB charge. He only has such a small window to get his damage out.
Q been caught out. We'll go for the Yules out onto the Ember. We'll try to leap his way out of this. Remnants forward and the Sleight of Fist will be enough. Pick off there from Makoto. Instead of 16-9, net worth lead still sitting the way of Boom. However, FBZ caught out in the mid lane. Will use himself up as Masaros will not be able to finish him off yet. In the end, won't be able to go for the chase either. Now Boom, knowing that Rolling Thunder's down for a bit, might be able to go for a play themselves. Motivate, they have backed off.
It's looking like both teams might just wait for the next Roche before committing to big objectives or a big fight. Unfortunately, it's max time Roche, 3 minutes respawn coming out, so neither side can take advantage of that. Would have been nice to get a free Ags Blessing or a refresh. I think the Blessing in this case is better for both teams. Just having Ags upgrade for free on Jackie, for example, would be huge. Like having that Swift Slash to help you out, get you more DPS times, would have really helped out in getting damage a bit longer. So it's just more time to build in. The Scotty is done for Jackie here. So he does have more stats on hand. He can slow down the region flying out. And he's starting to shape up into a really big chug. Saving for the Swift Blink next to help with the gap closing. They do Moonlight up, but they don't really have forward vision on MTG side. They've got this nice triangle ward. No, they actually don't. They just don't have vision out, so they can't really do as much. Like, the wards are...
Oh, he ran right into Fearless. Tried to blink away. They got the X off, but he'll use himself up. He'll be alright. Roshan's still about a minute 50 away, so both teams kind of getting prepared for that. Still a whiles off, but you've got to be around the pit to be ready. Especially if you Motivate.Trust. You don't want to allow 5 seconds for Dreamer Soul to get the Roshan started. Because obviously it's not going to take very long for the Ursa to get through that Roshan HB. It kind of goes back to what you said, John. If it's an Aghanim's Blessing, it would be very valuable to both teams. They definitely want to try and not allow either side to have it.
Yeah. You just can't let that slip for either one. You can see, basically it's Leonak's job to just keep watching the pit. He's just going to keep refreshing the Ice Vortex. This is his life now. That's all he's going to do for the next minute. Just watch. And just not allow it to be taken for free. Still, there's a bit of a smoke up here from Boom. Maybe they look for a pick-off before the Roche.
Easy. Sneak up from the backside. Fearless going to break the smoke, but they've got the arena down. No, BKB will save the day. But Makoto is into the backside. Onto Leonak, they'll get one. They find any more. Masaros, he's holding back the rest. He's taking a lot of damage and needs to roll away. It's going to be all right. Boom Esports, they would love for this Roshan to be here, but it's still 30 seconds away. So Leonak is going to be able to respawn in time for that next Roshan attempt.
And that's important. They need the Ice Blast in that pit. They do Moonlight up though. Motivate.
They think the Roshan may have started. It is not the case. They're just going to try and take this outpost to really control the area around the Roshan, but stuns keep flying out. They'll just all go in for the outpost. 4 at a time, that makes it a lot faster. Now, Roshan is up. It's a refresher shard though. That could still be very nice on Makoto or Dreamer Cell. But of course, Motivate, they're going to try and fight. They'll go with the Ice Blast and Arrow onto Kescu, but he'll get the borrowed time off. Meanwhile, Masaros is gone. And without the Rolling Thunder, it's going to be very hard to contest this Roshan as Dreamer Cell has picked up the Aegis now. FBZ has started the team fight, and now the Aghanim Scepter remnants. You see Makoto rushing forward, trying to get the damage out. Leona, he's going to die immediately. Leonak gone. Masaros dying pretty early on meant they could not fight in the Roshan pit. Motivate now finding themselves even further behind.
This is big for Boom. This could potentially open up the high ground for them the next few fights. Find a tier 2 mid, maybe shove in the bottom lane if they wished. And for Motivate, their team fight's still looking shaky. Like they just don't have the same setup as Arena Kisses has. They don't have that control. It's all down to Fearless maybe having a good time and
Jumped on the backside. They've got Kescu. Orchid's out, but they aren't going to make the chase in, or maybe they aren't. Q, he wants to go for this. The boat will end up landing, and the Rolling Thunder's there from Masaros. They are at least going to be able to get an Abaddon for their trouble. Now Boom Esports. Not too big of a loss for them. It will just mean they have to sit back a bit, get some farm up, and wait it out until he does respawn.
And they're not in a rush. They've got the Aegis for quite a while here. Maybe about 4 minutes left. So still fresh. No pressure. They've got that 9k lead. They're really big on Dreamer Cell. They're really big on all their cores. Fearless is lagged behind. Masaros is still lagging behind as well. MTG needs to find ways to build up some of that gold so they can start taking these fights. Like, the BKBs are up, at least on Fearless. He's trying to work on Hex next.
Spear. FBZ, he went way too far forward. He misses the spear on Leonak. Fearless wants to chase him down even through that BKB, but yeah, it looks like he's going to be alright as now Arrow is out onto Dreamer Cell, but he got the enrage off in time, but the boat going to land right on top of the Angry Bear, and they will get the Aegis. They find more. Boom, they're moving in. They want to take this fight. Jackie, he still has the Omni up, and it looks like he may just commit onto FBZ, or maybe they don't even need it. They land the arrow. There's your Omni now to commit to the kill. Who else do they want? Boom, not willing to fight any longer, but Q is on the chase for that Yule Scepter arrow. It's not going to be able to find himself a target. Masaros, however. That's Makoto. Torrent. No, BKB going to be there. Makoto, he is immediately out. That'll be it.
Those are still big exchanges for Motivate.Trust. They swing a 3k their way from a 9k lead to 6k only for Boom. So they're clawing their way back here. They take care of the Aegis. No second life up and running for Dreamer Cell. He's in a pretty risky spot now with the Ursa. He's also trying to go for the Swift Blink after the Basher. Fairly similar build-ups from both cores, except for the Basher versus Scotty for our Ursa and Jug. And it's now really starting to shape into that point where you ask yourself, whose win condition is bigger? Is the Ursa going to overtake, or is the Jug with the Omni and Swift Slash a lot better? I think it's still even. Like, it's all down to how the rest of the team executes around these big spikes on these cores. And for that part, Boom has been executing fairly clean as a team. It's just because it's so much easier to land Arena plus Kisses compared to just stunning one with X, getting the arrow, trying to control the other line, all from the Kunkka's end, and it's just easier said than done when most of your team fight is pretty much stuck on one hero. So Fearless really has to try to set up to enable the rolls from Masaros, to enable the Ice Blast from flying through.
Makoto. He yules up, but spear is there into the arena, but the arrow, Makoto! It landed. Can they get the damage off? No, the Aphotic Shield BKB is going to save the day. Very scary stuff there for Makoto. Very intense game between Boom and Motivate. Still could go anyone's way, and look at DotA+, John. Still 55 to 45.
Yep, it's down to the fact that Boom has that slight net worth advantage at 5k. I think at 37.5 minutes, it doesn't account for much anymore. Doesn't really count for any major items or any such things. Only down to the fact that Asteros is 3k poorer than FBZ, so that's really where the big difference lies. It's that your offlaner matchup, there is a pretty nice gap, and they can make use of that.
FBZ, spear back, not gonna land. There's no tree there. So Masteros, he's able to get out, and FBZ, he has a bit of a laugh to himself about it. Very annoying for the Mars. On the brighter side, though, they are going to find a nice DD rune there for Dreamer Cell. Now they can try to force another fight. They still have the arena up here for FBZ. Motivate, I don't believe they scouted out that DD rune being taken. And now there's going to be a smoke out. Motivate, they seem to sense something is wrong here, and they do back out.
Scanning for enemies.
Game sense to avoid that gank. There's no forward vision here from Boom as well. They only just get their wards up in the top jungle, so they were going in a bit blind. Motivate have to be a bit careful in that jungle area though. Jackie blinked forward to clear out this camp. If he steps up, it would be deadly, but he has enough game sense to go away, so smoke from Boom not really lining up to too much. There should be some more room for MG.Trust to again try to play this catch-up game. This is much more typical of what Motivate does when they're losing. So they just sit back, let Jackie farm up, and then look for that one big fight to turn all things around. So far, though, Bloom hasn't given them that opening. That just leads to this rather strong stalemate from both sides. Neither one can really push the advantage all too well. We maybe have to start considering the next Roshan as well, with the Ag Blitzing and the Refresh Shard. That might be when Bloom finally feels comfortable.
Oh, nice spear. FBZ onto Masteros, but the Aeon Discs just keep making it very difficult to actually lock somebody down long enough. Jackie's getting close now to that swift blink up on the jug. Top of the net worth board again for this Juggernaut. Meanwhile, Boom Esports, they're waiting around the Roshan pit, but there's still another 55 seconds before we even know when it is going to spawn up. They have to come back down to the bot lane and start defending. Jackie, X-spin, roll, Masteros wants to try and go for a kill here. They've got Makoto. They might have enough control, in fact, and they do.
Wow.
Makoto's down. FBZ is out with the arena. He does get the Mirana, but they might go for the big team fight. Jackie, he'll turn around now with the spin out. They'll try to go for this, but Dreamer, so he's willing to try and man fight. There's no Omni up. The X back, who have they got? I believe that's FBZ, no Kesku. Arrow to fly in, not gonna land, but they've got the Abaddon. No buyback on Makoto, still as FBZ now gonna get caught out. He does have buyback up, but they're gonna keep losing more.
Oh man, that was painful for Boom. Now, the buybacks are enough to, actually not enough, MTG. They don't fully back off. They know that the Ember's not up, and as long as Ember's not up, they can keep fighting.
This is that mistake we were saying that Boom can't really afford to make. They've made it. In MTG, we know this team, they'll capitalize every single time. This looks like it's going to be 2 Raxes down, perhaps. Maybe 1 Rax, 1 tier 3 tower. But either way, it's still going to hurt the side of Boom quite a bit, as towards the north, and Dreamer Soul, he does get Leonak. But Leonak's trying to make sure that Dreamer Soul can't sneak a Roshan. Unfortunately for Dreamer Soul, it is still 2 minutes and 10 seconds away. As Motivate now going to try and back off for Dreamer Soul. He's going to go on to Masteros. The arena is down with the spear, but the Aeon Disc does proc again. Masteros going to try and roll out. They perma-stun him up though, they'll get the kill. They need more though. Q
Oh.
Getting caught. He has leap charges. He'll try to leap away. They'll force stomp him forward. More Remington from Makoto. Speed does land onto Fearless, but it is Masaros with the buyback. He wants to rejoin this team fight, but Fearless still in trouble. BKB's up, tries to go for the run. Can they kill him off? They will eventually get him. So boom, they eventually get something out of the buybacks.
Yeah, that's big. Managing to kill off Fearless is nice. Unfortunately, again, the Roche is the longer timer here. So they're not going to have that objective. And Fearless bites back thinking the Roche is happening as well.
Yeah, both teams, they really are desperate for this Roshan. Motivate, they make a bit of a mistake there with that buyback on Fearless. Now we'll find out the hard way that Roshan is still not up for another minute and 5.
That's going to be... Now you have to commit. Because Fearless bought back, they absolutely have to commit for that fight. I thought they might have been willing to just give it out. Mainly because they've seen that they could handle Dreamosala with 2 lives anyway. It's just that the worrying factor is the free Ags upgrade. So Dreamosala with his Ags up would have been really scary. But MTG, their smoke, their Moonlight shadowed up here.
Oh, smoke broken though. Makoto, he breaks the smoke of Fearless. And Masaros for that matter. A very awkward team fight to try and start now for Motivate. And they may just need to back. Boom, they're just going to hold that high ground in the triangle. Both teams know the Roshan's up at any moment now. There's no reason to overextend if you don't need to. Especially for Boom, because they do have some decent Roche fight potential with that arena. And the kisses. Of course, the same could be said for Motivate, with the Rolling Thunder and the boat being thrown out with the Ice Blast. Yeah, very explosive fight, as another smoke is used up here for Motivate. Roshan is officially up now. Who gets first dibs? We've got a 10-man smoke going on across the map. Guess cute, he'll start it. He'll hit the Roshan. Just for good luck. Wrap around from the backside, Motivate. They might run into this Abaddon. It's not quite the target they want to start with, but Fearless, he might have no choice. He'll get started. However, on the backside, who have they caught? It's going to be Leonak. He's still alive, though. The Sleight of Fist is there from Makoto, and that'll get the job done. There's Jackie. He's on a Kescute now, and the Abaddon is gonna drop. A 1-for-1 so far. Makoto. Not going to be able to find anyone. Fearless going to TP out with the BKB, but Jack's been left behind. He doesn't have spin. Arena down. They've got the big one. He's going to pop the Omni to try and buy some time, but it's probably not going to be enough. In fact, he bounces the right way. He's going to try and run, but it's not going to be enough. No buyback on Leonak. They do have one on Jackie.
This is scary. Jackie made a mistake by not TPing home. They need to find a way to angle into that Roche, but they're down 2 heroes. Not an easy time to contest this.
Roshan going to go down for free. Very nice here from Boom Esports. They get all the items off that Roshan. Again, Motivate.
Roshan has no slots still. Yeah, to eat the cheese.
Oh no.
That's not efficient.
Certainly isn't, John. They have found Masaros though. Everyone just kind of flying in the air right now as Masaros gonna try and run. Dreamer Cell with the Swiftling trying to catch up, but Masaros, he's still a man on the run. They see him. Forward again. Roll up is there. Will roll away. They will not be able to catch him by the looks of it as he does TP, and there's no bash. There is no bash for Dreamer Cell.
That was on the edge. He even had to expend his BKB charge just to try. Doesn't pan out, so gonna count your lucky stars there, Motivate. They don't lose any more heroes than they have to, but they've got to deal with the Aegis and the Ags upgraded Ursa. That just means even more enrage, even more damage reduction and stat resist coming out for the Fuzzy Wuzzy. It doesn't even have to be under BKB. Pop it anymore. Full Abyssal done. So this is where you might have an opening. Dreamcell does not have buyback if you manage to kill him twice.
Oh, they almost got Fearless. Keep in mind, Fearless does have that Scythe of Ice up, and that could be quite a problem as Boom now. They're going to go into that triangle of the Dire. Ready from Motivate. around this area. Boom, they're just going to go ahead and push out that bot lane. Dreamersol just pulling so far ahead in terms of net worth now, and he's going to be feeling quite good about himself. Jackie is holding 4K worth of gold, though. Kind of wondering what itemization he goes for with this 4K.
I'd say, honestly, an Ags feels like it's going to be necessary. Just have more uptime, and he does kind of queue it up, but he only has 1K surplus for the buyback. So he needs a lot more gold to have that and buyback ready. And we're at that point where those buybacks really start to matter, so he needs to hold on, keep farming, and just get the space out. Once you get the Ags with buyback, you feel a lot safer. It's more invulnerable, more damage flying through. What we really need to see is Fearless getting more. I think the Kunkka late game is actually pretty potent, especially with these BKBs as low as they are. But that's something like the Ags and even the Ag Shard, just so much spells to push these heroes away, to kite them around. Remember, it's 4 melee heroes. If you have all that kind of kite ability on hand, it will be hard for Boom to gap close and get their damage off.
Mid lane. Kodo, Lincoln's broken. He's going to be alright. In fact, he'll remnant forward. He wants to start a fight. The boat was going to be forced from Fearless. Just to make sure everyone's just a little bit tankier in case they get caught out.
Amazing what you found lying around.
PG, they're going to run. They will force the rest of Boom to get back, but as you can see, the game is just not as simple as it used to be for either side. But Boom are certainly the ones that want to fight. You can really tell that by the way they just kind of rush in. They definitely understand how much of an advantage they have, at least in terms of net worth. Yeah, kind of desperate to start fighting against Motivate.Trust. Because now you even have a refresher orb up on Makoto. So he's got 5 remnants up if he wants it in the middle of the team fight.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for him to maintain that mobility, maintain the burst potential coming through. And with that item, Boom do smoke up. They want to reveal it in a really big way. They've got a nice forward ward, but there is a bit of smoke as well here on MTG. Still dropping that ward from Leonak does signal where he is. Should give them a good guiding light as to where to go.
Should. They might want a bit more than Leonak, though. That's the thing. Masaros would be a much better target. And he does show on the map, but he's going to try for a TP play, I think. Or at least he needs to, because FBZ is about to find him. And they do with the roll-up. It was there in time. He will Rolling Thunder away. Dreamersol, can he get a bash going? Not quite. Where the hell is Masaros? He's alright. He makes it out.
Yeah, it's don't really manage to find anything. They still take the lead here, 10k net worth. So there's feeling good. Motivate.Trust still playing the long game.
Lincoln's broken again. Makoto going to be hexed up by Fearless, but they won't have the follow-up. Neither team really wanting to be caught with their pants down here. Back off. If I say that, FBZ's rushing forward again, trying to find a nice spear. It's like a cat and mouse game right now. Like Motivate, they're forcing TPs out of Boom. As soon as they do commit those TPs, Motivate runs again. So they are buying time. And we see another smoker.
If they find that good target they want, this could sort of swing it back their way once more. We've been seeing a lot of success when they finally do lock in Mikoto. Issue is again with BKB with Lincoln. He's a very hard target to go for. You might be able to get some luck here with catching out the Ursa. Dreamersol has only the BKB at 6-second charge, so you can maybe get control on him, but his Enrage, his Ags, and Guard Upgrade are just way too much adding to his durability. Side of MPG, they're just trying to build up farm. They're still lagging behind in a big way, especially between Jackie and Dreamersol. Much more farm on Dreamersol in a big way, and I'm interested to see that Jackie's actually queuing up the E-Blade, so perhaps just wanting the disarm on hand to deal with Lady Ursa, or just having a ghost form himself to save himself would be nice. It's also counter synergistic with the Jug unless you're just going for the spin. So if you do maximize your spin with the E-Blade, that could be good. In any other scenario, it's a very big trade-off item for the Jug.
I think the idea is to just kind of disarm somebody and forget about them. The rest of the team fight, but I do agree it's going to be rather hard to maximize its efficiency as now Masteros is in onto FBZ. They're going to try and start this another fight. They'll go into Kescu first. Arrow does land. Fearless, no. They go after the backside. They go after Leonak, but he's all right for now. He'll try to back out. Hyde is there, though, with the stun and does secure the kill. Towards the north, who are they going to aim down? Leonak has brought back. Arena off the mark. Q does get himself away. X back, Jackie gonna move in, Hyde is out of there. Meanwhile, Mikoto on the backside onto Fearless. Still no real target being locked down, but no, they found the Kunkka. They've got Fearless down. He has buyback ready whenever. Meanwhile, Jackie, the much bigger target, has been caught out and he will go down. Boom Esports, making it work. Do find two massive core pickoffs. They are 20k ahead now. They could maybe start approaching the high ground of Motivate.Trust.
That's a huge opening for Boom. And once they manage to pierce that high ground, you're down to buying back on MTG. So it's a massive risk for them to take, but it's a risk you're going to have to take. Mid-tier 2 is starting to fall. Not going to take too much time for that to go out. The next Roche, we'll find out in about a minute when it does respawn. That could also be the safer play for Boom, but I think at this point, 53 minutes in, you've got to really take this advantage and run it.
Astaros going to try and delay things by getting rid of the creep wave. Well, trying to go after Q on the base right now. Dreamer Cell, just fine. Ice Blast going to be thrown out, just trying to delay things as Kescute. Going to have his own Aeon Disc and Borrow Time proc. Motivate, they are unwilling to buy back here. In fact, Boom Esports, are they really going to leave? It looks like they will.
That's surprising. Like they've got the numbers advantage. They could just force buyback to waste resources. Instead of playing super cautiously, it's nice to respect your enemy, but I think in this case, you are stronger. You're seeing the effects of Dreamosol with all his upgrades, all his farm up and running. They will eventually go for the racks, though.
They were just waiting for a creep wave in the end. Oh, Missile is out there for Q. They'll get rid of the Mirana into another. Leonak going to be able to get himself out, and now Jackie has respawned. So a bit of a greedy play here from MTG to hold those buybacks. They only lose one Rax as now they have found out Hyde. Spear is going to lock down Jackie, but Masteros will get the kill. That'll be enough for them. It looks like they will back up. There could be a fake back. They might move back in, but no, they'll go after the outpost.
There's another Roche up if they want to play it safe. That's still the full complement, Aegis, Cheese, Ag's Blessing, and the Refresh Shard. They will spot it out, but...
Jackie's in, FBZ going to be forced to BKB up, and Hyde's going to buy back. If they do force a buyback, Jackie, is he going to commit all the way? On the backside, Mikoto, he's been hexed up. He tried to go after Fearless. The boat's going to come in, but no, the Remnant there in time. They could not stun lock him, and now Jackie going to be chased down by Dreamer Cell, but it's actually Fearless who gets focused right now. He'll get his BKB off. They want to get the dieback onto Hyde on that Snapfire, and they'll be able to get him. Now the arena down, though, locking down Jackie on the jug. He does not want to die like this, but he can't get the Omni off in time. He'll buy back. Mikoto moving forward onto Fearless. The Hex out is not going to help out too much as Fearless is dropping very low and does die himself, but he commits the buyback. TG, can they find a target? It's still 4v5. FBZ going to be able to get away. Oh, they do land with the stun, but Mikoto, a Photic Shield going to save the day. Jackie back in on the Abaddon. A borrowed time is going to delay things just for a little bit, but not for long. Motivate. They can try the Roche.
They've got 2 advantage. There's no buyback in the Snap. Abaddon does, but just an Abaddon. The fact that the Snap's not there with the Kisses is a lot more important for Motivate.Trust. No cookies, the Kisses, Scatter Blast to worry about. The Roche is awfully slow though, as they're not as quick as the Ursa would be, and there's just not enough damage from Jackie, so it's going to be a drawn-out process to commit for this Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, it's got almost 13k HP, this Roshan. Tanky boy as Abyssal Blade is out, but the Hex is there onto Dreamer Cell. They don't want to lose the Ursa right now. Yules is out to save the day, but he does go down. He's going to buy back. FBZ now. He'll be chased down by Masteros, but the BKB will save his life. Oh, boom. They can't afford to lose this Ursa again. Pretty much if any carry dies this game, the game could just be over. Both teams can be very cautious about this. A very kind of scary predicament to be in. The mid wave is also being pushed in here. Gonna smoke up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Broken. Masteros gets chained up. Spear is not gonna land onto Fearless. He's gonna be alright. Kodo just keeping tabs on the Roshan though. Marking his territory. Motivate.Trust. They're going back to defend that creep wave, but the Roshan's going to get started. In fact, Makoto will try to start the fight instead, but the Hex is out. Dreamer Cell, he's there with the bash. Fearless, he's going to die back. They've lost the Kunkka. And now they can really go for this team fighters. How do you fight without him? The Omni is going to be completely whiffed as well. It bounces to the neutral camp. How do you fight now? Makoto, he's going to try and rush for Jackie. No chains out, but Fearless, he has the Yule Scepter out. He does catch, but no. The Flicker will save the take for Jackie. Jackie trying to get that Divine Rapier ASAP. Meanwhile, Masteros going to try and roll his way out, but he doesn't have the Rolling Thunder. He's a bit of a sitting duck. The Aeon Discon is maybe saved for a bit, but not for long. But he can buy back. Boom, they're going to rush for that Roshan. They know Motivate cannot fight them over this Rosh.
That's going to be big once more for Boom. They've taken pretty much every single Rosh here. They're going to have another huge injection with Aegis, Cheese, Refresh Shard, Ag's Blessing. What are they handing it off to? Like, okay, they've got the Ags now in height. This is ridiculous. Free Ags for your snap, free Kiss, Gobble Up. Motivate.Trust, they've got their work cut out for him here. They're 3K behind, 20 at nearly 1 R in. If you're Boom right now, you could just farm some tier 5 items and go from there. It's not too far away. You've got the entire map under the control. You know, why not?
What tier 5 items would you like to see, John? If you could choose for either side, what would you like to see? Keep in mind, by the way, Jackie has a Divine Rapier up now.
Stygian would be really good. Actually, you know what? I don't know if it's actually going to be really good. Maybe something replaces boots. Force boots on Jug would be pretty nice. Giant Ring is always good as well.
Yes, cute. Jumping a cookie away. Masteros playing with a bit of fire, but he should be just fine. Oh, we have a chance as well. I've got to give props to FPZ on the Mars. We've seen a lot of Wind Waker saves, especially on Makoto and Dreamer Cell. Doing a great job.
An item, right? An item. It's so strong. Just being able to ult your ally, like it's so expensive as well, but simply worth the cost. It just turns these fights. There's the Force Boots. There's an Apex as well for Boom's End. So someone's going to be able to ditch the boots and go slot up 6 slot.
He found for Jackie. Not great, but you can at least guarantee the bounty runes, and the attack speed might be nice. There's your Giant's Ring.
Ooh.
Who's taking?
That is pretty nice. I don't know if you really want it on Jackie. Probably not. Maybe just give it to the Kunkka. Look at Fearless. He looks like a boxy robot. It's like a robot. What is that?
Oh, I love the Giant's Ring. I really do.
He looks so stiff because of the squared off pauldrons and stuff. It's ridiculous. I feel like on a Jug, I think I might actually like it on Jug more. Think about it. DPS from being on top of someone. What does Omni Slash do? You're on top of someone. What does your Blade Fear do? You're on top of someone. You don't have much strength. But Jackie kind of needs every single source of damage, and for Fearless, he's not really going to stand in people. He'll cast his spells from 4. He'll try to get some hits with Tidebringer, but the real DPS output is Jackie. He's holding on to the Pirate Hat for the attack speed, which is nice, but I feel like Giant's Ring might actually be better for Jackie. Yeah, Mirror Shield is pretty nice as well. There's a nice shell to reflect back. Who got the Apex again? Was it Boom? Yeah, Boom with the Apex is pretty good. Just plus attributes, always nice. Up front. Which one was?
Got the Arcane Blink now on FPZ as well, so very low cooldowns on the Mars. Ex Machina, or Machina, whatever you want to, however you pronounce that one, John. I know you know how to pronounce it. Ex Machina, I believe you like to
Yes.
say.
Yeah, that's so good. It's an underrated one, but it's basically 25-second BKB if you think about it, right? Because the cooldown on... Wait, who's carrying it right now? I need to see the thumbnail. There you go. 25-second reset cooldown on all items except refresh. So that's a 25-second BKB. Like, that is actually so good in so many heroes, and people keep underrating it. It's really good.
Seer Stone, going to be kind of nice for Motivate as well, because you can essentially just scout. You get map hacks with Seer Stone for a bit. So we'll see who does end up using that one. It must have to be Leonak, but for now, nobody's actually queued it up. Oh, never mind, he's got it. So, you know, every 60 seconds you get a map hack for 6 seconds. There you go. There it is. Nice little vision there onto Boom Esports.
And
You have to point out as well, John, Stygian Desolator is on Makoto. So that Sleight of Fist is really going to hurt.
that's ridiculous. Probably the best hero to carry that as well. Just spreading out all that minus armor. Just nuts. Good damage coming through. It's surprising that Motivate.Trust can still hold on. Like, Boom is just not pushing into the side lanes. And they're respecting Motivate.Trust, the fact that they can bounce. I mean, they're 37k behind.
Oh, they found. Spear is out. They've got the Pango. Gobble Up is going to make it. No, the roll up is there. Too much hesitation. In fact, Masaros, he kind of puts it in their face. Remnant, roll. He's going to be fine. Playing with fire. The rest of MTG split pushing out the top lane, but Fearless, he is going to be able to escape. Everyone's fine.
You know, we didn't quite get to talk about this, but they've got that Divine up in Jackie, so his damage output's great now. They just need to make something happen.
Oh, X out. They've got Dreamer Cell. He X him up. He gets another Enrage off. Rolling Thunder is there. Can they control him long enough? The boat still flying in. Masaros trying to hold down the Ursa. Instead, they'll go after Kescute. They'll try to get rid of the Abaddon, and it looks like they will be able to get him. However, Makoto is going into the backside onto Q. A nice stun up by FBZ to lock down Q, and they will get the Mirana, but here comes the cavalry right in onto Makoto. But the Wind Waker, again, going to save the day from FBZ. Who do they go on? They'll try it onto Masaros. Remnants forward again with the roll-up. Might save the day. He'll swashbuckle out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Very explosive kind of team fight. A buyback was committed by Q, but that's about it. It was a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and they get to just wait again, reset. Boom. They don't lose too much of that lead, but I guess at this point, having a 15k lead over the Jug just doesn't amount to too
BZ.
much.
Oh, Jackie. Nice spin reaction there from the Jug. FBZ wants to chase forward, though. In fact, Q not going to get caught, but they've got Fearless instead. Side the Vice out from Makoto, and now Dreamer Soul will get to work with the Abyssal Blade, but he does get used up. It's not going to be enough. Fearless is out of there. He even got the Torrent off onto the Mars. FBZ going to juke out the Omni Slash from Jackie with that Wind Waker out. He'll refresh. Arena down. He has not caught anyone, though. They all get out of there, but Makoto, he'll keep going forward onto Fearless, but he's such a tanky boy with that Giant's Ring. They just can't kill him. They can't get through the HP, and now they've got the Ember. Makoto is in danger. There's your Seer Stone out. The Side Device as well. But they will get out of there, Boom. It's Masaros. He's going to go for a Rolling Thunder. He does catch Dreamer Cell mid-TP. He's got Hyde under control, but where's the team? Wind Waker out from FBZ, but the arrow is not going to connect. Instead, Jackie will pop the Aeon Disc, but Masaros, he keeps moving forward. Jackie trying to have a look to see where this damn Snapfire is gone. But Hyde's out of there. It's a 38k net worth lead for Boom, but it seems like we're no closer to finding a victor in Game 2.
No, I mean, both sides have at least one racks up. Bot lane for MTG, mid lane for Boom. Divine up on FBZ. All right, he's looking to win. He wants this done. God's Rebuke can be hitting like a truck.
Oh, goodness.
He's sort of set now. It's that point where they need it. They just feel like they need it. Well, let's see if they can start hammering those kills, but so far the only ones to die are really the supports. They're gonna have to find more to really line up those opportunities, and they actually do lose their top tier 2 there just from the creep wave, so I guess that's more openings for MTG. Roshan, looks like MTG will be able to take this, and having that backup life on Jackie, having the free ags, this is big.
Is this the first Roshan they've gotten? I think it might be the first Roshan they've gotten. They
5
managed to sneak
Roshes?
it.
6 Roshes? And this fixes up the issues for Jackie. Swift slash up. He is not going to feel so awkward now, and that is really needed. Because you're playing with the Pirate Hat. Having the Swift slash for that means you've got a ton of attacks in that 0.8 second window. So let's see how much Jackie can pull off here. But yeah, suddenly they lost 10k lead. Did you see that? From 38k to 28k just from that Roshan. MTG's reeling it back in. That's amazing.
You'll see the dip very, very soon on that graph. Dota Plus is exactly 50-50.
Oh my
Dota,
god.
Dota Plus has no idea. It's got its hands up like, look, I don't know. You guys figure it
What's
out.
loot bet? What's loot bet at?
Oh, let me have a look, John. I'll have to refresh the odds, but there's a smoke going on right now, so we're going to have to wait 1 second. See if Boom does find the initiation they want. TG. Out to the south, Jack. Oh, this could be big. Jackie, he's out of position. The spear not going to land. Saros. Thunder. Blink away. Where's he gone? He's gone to the north. He'll go after Hyde on the snapfire. The Ice Blast gonna fly in, but the Aeon Disc is gonna save for now. Jackie still wants to get to work, but the Spear Arena is there on the jug. They have the control. They might have the damage, but no. He gets the spin off, and he'll keep going forward, but he can't lose that Divine. Dreamer Cell, he's gonna get the Aegis up, and now Fearless, he refreshes. He'll get the boat fleet back and going. Give that boat room over as the Omni. No, Swift Slash is there from Jackie. Boat's still going. Masaros staying behind to tank the gank for the team. He will go down in the end. Meanwhile, Makoto, he'll keep chasing. Gobble up. Not going to be there, but Dreamer Cell is still rushing for Jackie.
God. Oh,
Moonlight
God.
Shadow, they're right next to each other. But he can't see him.
That is way too fast. He's got the money for the Divine now, Dream himself. He wants to just buy it out. So, what are we at? 2 Divines. FBZ's queuing up another one. Of course you would. You have the Divine Jack. Potentially 3 to 4 Divines this game, Mike. That's insane. 69 minutes in. Very nice. Reaching 70.
Indeed.
23k lead. What's those odds? What them odds are?
$1.74 for Boom Esports. Motivate $1.98. So Boom's the very slight favorites right now.
Damn,
Very
that's still pretty close. I mean, look at 25k lead and you only have a 20-cent betting lead. That's pretty tight for Motivate.Trust. They're gonna have to be cautious though. Like they did lose the Aegis, so their options are limited. Hey, Jackie. No, I thought Jackie took the ring. Damn it. I want that ring. I think a Jug Omni slashing would ring. Think about the damage. Like how many times is Fearless standing on people? Not much.
I don't think that's the point, though. I think they just want Fearless to survive.
That's
Here
fair.
on the because it's so much strength you get out of that Giant's ring. And he does have the double boat fleet up. He's got the refresher shot sitting there right now. Dreamer Cell going to get hexed up, but the Lotus Orb going to bounce it the other way. In fact, Fearless now, he's been caught. Maybe they can burst him down in time. He gets the boat fleet out. Not quite yet. He's still hexed up, but he does end up going down as now they rush forward, but he does fight back. In fact, so does Masaros. After Makoto, they've got Keskut under control. They'll go after the Abaddon as now the Torrent Storm flies in. A lot of team fight potential with the spell. There's Keskut about to drop, but still alive with that borrowed time. He's still being chased down. It's Masaros now in a bit of danger. Dreamer Cell not going to be able to chase him. Seer Stone out again. They have the vision. Do they go back in though? FBZ's got Arena in 5 seconds if he wants it. Gonna go back in. I mean, spells are off cooldown again. But why the hell not? Just keep going.
Yeah, they can definitely force the issue here. You know, Motivate.Trust has just bought back on Fearless and Masaros. They're in a very precarious position. If they lose the Kunkka or the Pango, that might just be the GG call. Like, Jackie has to really lay the damage out for his team, but it just doesn't. He has the divine, and it doesn't feel like he does enough. You know, that's the state of the game right now. Whereas when you look at FBZ with 2 divines, when he gets the God's Rebuke off, whoo, the pain.
How many more can we get this game? I'm surprised Makoto's not holding one. Like, why not give the Ember one with the Stygian Desolator? In fact, where is the Stygian? No, he's got it in the backpack. He's switching out with the Spell Prism. Fair enough. And there's Dreamer Cell's Divine Rapier now. So you've got another one. In fact, they've jumped in. Arena. Not going to lock down Q. It's going to be all right. Now with the Arena down, they'll probably just try and go for a bit of a reset here.
They're gonna have to wait for a bit. They need Arena to take these fights. On the flip side, if Motivate.Trust finds these kills, man, you'd have potentially 3 divines dropping in the middle of the fight. They don't really have the item slots to pick it up here too on Motivate.Trust side, so it's one of those games. At 73 minutes in, the slots are just not enough.
Oh, they got Q. Aeon Disc gonna save the day. Dreamer Cell, he's going in for that tier 3. He's had enough of waiting. Rack's exposed. I'm still just waiting for FBZ to be able to set up with the Arena Spear. Is what they really want. They're going to smoke up. Gobble up. He's off the mark. Remnant forward from Makoto to get some vision out. He does get the chains as well. Hunter Q. He's still alright though. Dreamer Cell trying to go with the Nullify, but he can't get him. He's going to be alright. In fact, the boat fleet now does fly out. Get that boat rump. Tank everyone up at FBZ. Not going to land the Arena and Spear perfectly. Fearless, he resets with the Torrent Storm now. Maybe they can chase. They've got FBZ under control. He's been hexed up. They can take him down. The boat's still flying. The Torrent Storm. There's so much water everywhere. They need to run. Boom. They've overextended. They need to get out as Jackie might have their way with them now. In fact, there you go. There goes Hyde on the Snapfire. They still have the Omni Slash to commit. They are going to Rolling Thunder forward. There's another Omni Slash committed onto Makoto this time around. Into the stun. They have got the Ember. Look how fast Jackie's attacking. There's no buybacks on FBZ or Hyde at the moment, as it's looking really bad now. 3 heroes down with that buyback.
Oh, Mike, they got the 2 divines. There's 2 divines in Jackie. There's a divine hanging around here on Q. FBZ, his jump back in might have cost them the game. Those 3 heroes with no buybacks, they were all key in fighting. They need the Arena. They need the kisses. Now, at least you have this buyback in Makoto, but you can't stop a Jug with 2 divines just melting those towers. You saw his attack speed. They'll just rush the Ancient here.
Yeah, you got Mirana Divine as well. He could just use the leap attack speed. This is tier 4 tower time for Jackie if he realizes there's no buybacks, but he doesn't realize it yet, because you would expect them to have it. They do not. MTG. Still going Dreamer, so he's going to jump in. He needs to get the job done right here, right now. They need Jackie dead. They need the bashes out. The Torrent Storm going to save the day. Makoto, he's been caught. He'll die back as well. It's Dreamer Cell versus the world, and it's not looking great for him as they swift slash forward. The Ursa going to be X back right into the loving arms of Motivate, and the GG's called. Motivate, they are the kings of comebacks. And they come back again in Game 2 of the Grand Final of the Loop Pro Series Season 6. And that one's gonna hurt for Boom, John. It's gonna hurt.
Oh, man. They hesitated so much for the high ground, though. Like, they had 36k. They had such a huge lead for God knows how long in the graph. For nearly, okay, from around 55 minutes till the end.
Oh, look
right around that time.
Look at that.
Let's say 58 to 70. They had a huge window, but they were just so far ahead, and they didn't end the game. And everyone knows it. Like, the late game of Motivate.Trust is what really shines. Sure, their early game sometimes can be amazing as well, but their choices late game, the way they have Jackie dip in, the way they split farm with Fearless, the decisions they make, just really make it difficult. And boom, one small mistake. It was FBZ just jumping back in with 2 divines. That was it. Took such a massive risk in buying the second divine. He had 1. He was happy with 1. He wanted to go for 2. And it just lost him the game.
There's so many things that happen. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where it all went wrong, but I do agree that last team fight just... They were unable to land the spear. It's a very hard Mars game when you're 78 minutes in and you've got all these Aeon discs going and there's so many ways to avoid it. But what a game it was. Boom Esports, they're 2 games behind now, John. If they want to keep this grand final going, they are going to have to win game number 3. And of course, for us, we are going to head to a short break. But right after that break, we'll be back to see if Boom Esports can force it to a game number 4. We'll see you soon.